Hi, my name is Kristen and I'm a registered physiotherapist. Welcome to this gentle movement practice for mobility and strength on the mat. We'll be using gentle movements with a little bit of light stretching and taking a pause to challenge ourselves with a few strengthening exercises. We'll be doing some calm breathing throughout the whole practice. Please take breaks as needed and know that you don't have to do all the exercises the first time through. There's value in observing and learning the movement before actually trying to do it in your own body. Please move at your own pace and within your comfort zone. Find a comfortable place to rest, to lie on. I'm choosing a yoga mat on a carpeted floor. It's firm but still soft enough to be comfortable. Find your position on your mat or your firm bed. Lying on your back with knees bent. Feel free to have some support under your head with a flat pillow or a folded towel if needed. Letting your hands rest slightly to the sides. Taking a nice breath into your body and breathing out, letting your body sink into the surface you're resting on. Noticing your points of contact against the surface you're resting on. Breathe into the front of your body. Breathe out to the back of your body, letting your body rest and feel supported by your surface. Breathing into the front of your body and breathing out to the back of your body, letting your head, shoulders, hips, pelvis, feet sink a little bit further. Breathing into the front of the body and breathing out, relaxing the back of the body, feeling supported. Breathing into the front of the body, light and lifted. Breathe out to the back of the body, heavy and relaxed. We'll begin with some gentle rocking. Breathing into the front of the body, breathing out, relaxing the back of the body as you gently let your knees and head turn to the sides, just slightly. Breathe into the center, nose and knees point to the ceiling. Breathe out to the side, head and knees fall gently to the side. Into the center, light and lifted. Out to the side, heavy, relaxed. Now this is an inner range movement. It's designed just to bring some movement, some awareness into your body. It's not to challenge full range or flexibility right now. Just letting yourself gently rock from side to side. Breathing in through the center and breathing out to the side. Nose and knees are moving in unison. Once you have your breath pattern down, into the center, out to the side, then bring your awareness to your body, noticing the back of your head, shifting from the center to the sides, noticing the space that's touching your mat or your bed, and just sensing that point of contact. Breathe into the center, breathe out to the side. Now bring your awareness down to your feet. Sensing your footprints when your nose and knees are facing the ceiling, and then sensing how you roll to the inner and outer edges of the feet. Into the center, footprints, and out to the side, the outer edge and inner edges of the feet. Feel your footprints slightly lift. Now bringing your awareness to the hips and pelvis. Feeling your hips equally weighted when your knees are in the center, and feeling one hip get heavier and the other get lighter as you shift to the side. Breathe into the center. Breathe out to the side. As you shift to the side and the hip that gets lighter, notice how you press gently into the inner edge of that foot. Into the center and out to the side. Again, noticing the hip that gets lighter, pushing into the inner edge of that foot slightly, and falling onto the outer edge of the foot of the hip that gets heavier. Good job. One more time. And then land in the middle. Take a moment to rest. Take a moment to breathe. And if it would feel good to you, you could bring your knees in towards your chest for a gentle hug. And maybe another gentle rock. From here, we can do a few hip circles. Breathing in, bringing your knees towards you. And breathing out, letting the hips circle around. Breathing in, draw the knees towards you, flattening your back against your mat. Breathe out, let the knees part slightly as the toes stay touching. Circle them around to the beginning, like tracing the body of a butterfly in through the center and out around the sides, tracing the wings. Breathe in, knees come towards you up the center of the body of the butterfly. And breathing out, circling around, tracing the wings. One more time. Good job. Lowering the legs. We'll try some arm circles now. Breathe in, letting the arms come up overhead. And breathing out, circling them around towards the sides. Just like what we did before. In through the center, the body of the butterfly. And breathing out around the sides, tracing the wings. If it doesn't feel well for your arms to have a long arm, rest your fingertips on your shoulder and simply circle with your elbows, drawing the butterfly through the sky. Good job. One more time. In, raising the arms up to wherever's comfortable. Out, palms to ceiling, and circle around. And then rest. We'll do a few more circles on our hip, one at a time. Giving our hip a little bit of mobility. Letting your knee fall out to the side, landing on the outer edge of the foot. Explore this space. Go within your comfort range. When you've found out wherever it's comfortable to let the knee fall out, then slide along the outer edge of the foot. As the knee straightens, roll the toes towards the ceiling and then slide the leg back in. Make sure you stay within your comfortable range here, or maybe only doing the first part of the movement, letting the knee fall out and back in. Breathe in, letting the knee fall out. Breathe out, slide along the outer edge of the foot. Breathe in, roll the leg in, toes face the ceiling. And breathe out, slide the heel back up. Imagine a puppet string pulling it upward to the ceiling. Breathe in, the knee falls out. Breathe out, slide the leg along the outer edge of the foot. Breathe in, plant the knee, point the toes to the ceiling. And breathe out, slide the heel in. Imagine the knee being lifted. Breathing in and out to slide. Breathing in, roll in, and out to slide. One more time. Breathing in, the knee falls out. Breathe out, slide, straightening the knee. Breathe in, plant the knee, toes to ceiling. Breathe out, slide back in. Good job. We'll do the other side. I'm switching ends here so that you can see. Hip circle. Breathing in, let the knee fall out to the side. Breathe out, slide along the outer edge of the foot. Breathe in, plant the knee, toes roll to the ceiling. Breathe out, slide the heel in, picking the knee up as though it were on a puppet string. Breathing in, fall out. Breathe out, slide out. Breathe in, roll in. Breathe out, slide in. Breathing in to fall out. Breathe out, slide. Breathe in, roll it in, and breathe out, slide. 2 more times. In and out. In and out. The leg falls out and slides out on the first breath. The leg rolls in and slides in on the next one. Good job. Take a moment to rest. Now we'll bring one knee towards the chest, allowing it to have a bit of a hug. Don't force your knee if it's pinchy in the front of your hip. Allow your shoulders and neck to rest. Maybe start to sense a bit of length or stretching in the back of the hip, but only within your comfort zone. Find your edge and breathe, relaxing your muscles. If you like, you can slide the other leg straight, opening up the front of that hip. If your leg doesn't want to go fully straight, maybe you need a prop like a yoga block or a towel under the knee. Take a few more breaths here, relaxing your body into your mat, easing into the stretch, letting go of any tension that's not necessary. If you like, you can bring your knee across to your chest. If you weren't able to take the option of straightening the knee and the knee is still bent, feel free to hook the ankle on that opposite knee. Taking a few more breaths here, easing into that stretch. Again, the knee can be bent or straight, sensing a stretch in the leg that's lifted in the outer back side of the hip, but not forcing it if there's pinching in the front of the groin. Moving on to our figure 4 stretch. That ankle is now hooked on the bent knee, pressing the knee out. Perhaps that's enough of a stretch and you'll just stay here. If you need a bit more, you can bring everything closer to you with the help of the other leg. Maybe putting that foot on a block or resting it on the back of a chair or simply in the air. Take a few moments to breathe, breathing into your neck and shoulders, relaxing your neck and shoulders, breathing into your back, relaxing your back, breathing into your hip and the sensation of stretch, and breathing out, softening against that stretch. Good job. Releasing that side down. We'll move on to the other side. Knee comes up towards your chest. Find a gentle hug. Relaxing your neck and shoulders. Relaxing your back and the back of your hip to accept a little bit of length around the back side. If you like, straighten the opposite leg, finding some support under the knee if you need to. And if you're not sure if you need to, then try it anyway, because you might be surprised at how good it feels. Taking a few breaths there, relaxing the back of the hip and the front of the other hip. If you like, you can bring the knee across, stretching out the side back part of the hip. You might find that turns your body slightly, and as long as it's comfortable for you within your own comfort zone, that's great. Now we'll move into our figure 4 stretch, allowing the ankle to hook on a bent knee, pressing the knee outward. If you need a little bit more than that, then draw the leg in, maybe supporting the leg on a block or maybe on a chair, getting closer to a chair. Breathing in fully and out fully, relaxing your neck and shoulders, relaxing the back, relaxing the hip, breathing in to lengthen the muscles and out to soften. Nice, long, slow breaths here. Good job. You can release that leg down and go to a position with bent knees. We're doing a little bit of pelvic rocking with our breath. Breathing in, allow your belly to rise and your low back to arch or lift. Feel your tailbone become more prominent. And breathing out, flattening the back, maybe curling the tailbone up, tipping the tailbone up. Breathe in, rolling forward through the pelvis, tilting forward, and breathing out, curling the tailbone up, tucking back. If you had wheels on your hips, they'd be rolling forward slightly and breathing out, curling up slightly. Your hands are on your low belly, breathing in, rolling to your tailbone, the fingertips dip down, and breathing out, curling the tailbone up, the fingertips come up. Just doing this is a very small movement. I'm trying to accentuate it so you can see, but it might be almost imperceivable. Use your breath to drive this movement, noticing there's a gentle rocking of the pelvis that naturally occurs as we breathe. Find the center between those two positions, not all the way tilted forward or tucked back, where your pelvis would be neutral. Fingertips and thumbs are in line. From here, we practice our core reflex, where we breathe out and where we breathe into our diaphragm and our deeper core around our abdominals, pelvic floor, low back, reflexively contract. Breathe in, belly rises, ribcage expands, and then breathe out through a pursed lip, forcing the air out from the low belly. Breathe into the diaphragm, belly rises, ribcage expands. Breathe out through a pursed lip or make a shh sound, trying to push the air out from the low belly. Imagine drawing the hip bones together like a seat belt or a belt tightening, drawing inward. Breathe in, belly rises, ribcage expands. Breathe out with a pursed lip, keeping the pelvis neutral, keeping the hips heavy. Breathe in, belly rises, ribcage expands. Breathe out with our pursed lip or shh sound. See what helps you gently activate those muscles in around the low belly. Now stay here and practice your core reflex, or if you're comfortable with that, join me for a bridge where we lift up using our exhale, our abdominal strength to support our pelvis and back as we lift our hips up. Breathe in, belly rises, ribcage expands. Breathe out and push through the heels, push through the elbows to lift the hips. Breathe in, stay up there, squeezing the glutes, reaching long through the knees, and then breathe out and lower. Land on your tailbone with a gentle curve in the low back. That's our neutral. Breathe in, belly rises, ribcage expands. Breathe out with your core. Push through the heels, push through the elbows. Breathe in, stay up there, squeeze glutes, reach long through the front of your hips, and then breathe out, lower down, land on the tailbone. Good job. 2 more times. Breathe in, belly rises, ribcage expands. Breathe out, push through the hips. Breathe in, stay up there, reach long through the knees, squeezing the glutes. Breathe out and lower. 1 more time. Breathe in, breathe out, and lift. Breathe in, stay up there, reach long with your knees. Breathe out and lower. landing on your back. You can bring your knees towards your chest, have a nice little hug here, maybe a gentle rock. Giving yourself a little stretch, relaxing those muscles after they've just worked hard for you. Good job. Now we'll go over onto our side. Lie on your side, maybe finding something to support your head, a rolled towel, or I like my yoga block here. Something to support your head so there's not too much pressure on the lower shoulder. Lie with your legs in hips and knees 90-90 as though you were sitting in a chair. And then watch the pelvis, making sure that the top hip stays, the crest of the hip stays down so that you're slightly lifted under that, at that underside. Okay. We'll be doing a rotation through our top trunk. There are 3 different arm positions you can choose. I will show all 3, and then you'll finish 2 more in the one of your choice. You may already know which arm position you like and go right there, or explore these ones and choose the one you like the best. Hand can rest on your opposite shoulder, rolling yourself forward. Take a breath in to the back of the rib cage. Breathe out, roll so that you're facing the ceiling and your shoulder falls back, feeling a twist through the upper back. Breathe into the stretch that you feel. And breathe out, roll yourself forward to that start position. Option 2 is hand behind your head or your neck. Breathe into the back shoulder, back ribs. Breathe out, roll so that your chest faces the ceiling, arm opens up. Breathe into the stretch that you feel, a slight stretch through your shoulder, through your chest, your upper back, and then breathe out, come all the way back. Third option is with the arms straight. Breathe into the back. Breathe out, open up the arms, sweep through the sky, landing in a stretch, the shoulders in a slight diagonal. Breathe into the stretch that you feel. And then breathe out, roll on back. 2 more times, the arm option of your choice. Breathe into your back ribs, back shoulder. Breathe out, rotate, facing the ceiling, opening up the shoulder if you like to stretch. Breathe into the stretch that you feel through the ribs, your shoulder, your chest, your upper back. Breathe out, sweep forward. One more time, breathe into your back ribs and shoulder. Breathe out, turning to face the ceiling. Arm opens up to stretch if you like. Breathe into what you feel. And breathe out, returning to that start position. Good job. Lying on your side, we're going to start a little bit of side hip strength. To make we'll be lifting up the top leg from this position. If you want to make sure that you're not rotating your back now, that the top half is going to stay really still. You can always put your back against a wall for some support, or simply lean onto the front arm for some support. We'll use our core exhale on every time we lift our leg. Breathe in to prepare. Breathe out. Lift the top leg, the knee and the foot stay in line. Breathe in to lower, gently touch. Breathe out, lift up. In to lower, out to lift. In to lower, out to lift. Trying to stay still through your upper half. Feeling the muscles warming up at the back of hip. You might be aware of that sensation, but it should not be activating your pain. In the neighborhood, but not pushing through pain. Good job. I'm going to do 2 more. Exhale to lift. Good. Take a nice little rest there, relaxing that muscle, letting that flush out, taking a few long, slow breaths. We'll do another movement here to open up the front hip. You can grab onto your ankle, your pant leg, or maybe use a little lasso, a little tie around your ankle. We'll open up through the front hip here, stretching out the front of the thigh and hip. Take a few breaths there. If this isn't accessible for you, lying on your side to open up your hip, you can always do a kneeling hip flexor stretch. Taking a few long, slow breaths, allowing your body to accept the stretch and not resist into it. You're working with your body. So never push yourself to a point where you can't breathe or you're trembling in the position. Let that leg go and let it be straight on your mat. Adjust your lower leg in whatever way would feel comfortable. We're going to do a few more leg lifts to work on our side hip. Breathe in, breathe out, lifting the foot maybe about as high as the hip or slightly higher. In to lower, out to lift. In to lower, out to lift. Again, you can have your back supported against a wall and your heel would be sliding against the wall, or lean forward slightly onto your top hand so that you stay really still through your torso, your trunk. Exhale to lift, inhale to lower. Exhale to lift, inhale to lower. Good job. Stop and rest at any time. I'm going to finish with a challenge. Hold the leg up and now 5 circles. A small circle around. 2, 3, 4, up and back, circling around. 5. Good job. Give that hip a little bit of a rest. And then we'll switch sides. We'll come to the other end here. Supporting your head. Lining your legs up, hips and knees at 90 degrees as though you were sitting in a chair. Lifting up through the curve of that waist, keeping the hips stacked one on top of the other. We'll be doing our rotation to start with the 3 arm positions. First position could be on your shoulder, on your opposite shoulder, letting yourself roll forward. Take a breath into the back shoulder and ribs. Breathe out, turning your body to face the ceiling, opening up. Breathe into the stretch that you feel. Breathe out, letting yourself roll back forward. Second choice is hand behind the head. Breathe into the back ribs and shoulder. Breathe out, turn through your upper back, facing the ceiling, opening up through the shoulder. Breathe into the stretch that you feel through the upper back, the chest, and then breathe out, come on back. Third option is that arm straight. Breathe in, breathe out, sweep the arm through the sky. Imagine drawing a rainbow. Open up the shoulder on a diagonal. Breathe into the stretch that you feel. And then breathe out, come on back. 2 more times. Choose your option. Breathe into the back ribs and shoulder. Breathe out. Rotate, facing the ceiling. Breathe into the stretch that you feel, maybe the chest or the upper back. And breathe out, come on back to that start position. Breathe into the back ribs and shoulder. Breathe out, rotate, facing the ceiling, opening up, only turning the upper body, lower body is still. Breathe into the stretch that you feel. And breathe out, come on back to that start position. Good job. Going into a side leg lift for some side strength. You can let your hand resting on your front hand or maybe supporting your back against the wall. When you're ready, breathe in to prepare, keeping those hips nice and stacked. Breathe out, lift the top leg. Feeling that deep core engaged to support you and keep your torso, your pelvis still. Exhale to lift. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. In to lower. Out to lift. The breath pattern might be challenging, and that's normal, and that's okay. We're trying to do it this way to give us a little bit of power as we lift, as we challenge that strength. You should feel this side hip warming up, maybe in the neighborhood, but not activating your pain. In to lower, out to lift. Good job. 2 more for me. In to lower, out to lift. And then relax. Letting that flush out. Nice long, slow breaths, allowing a bit of recovery. When you're ready, you can open up to the front of the hip to stretch, grabbing your pant leg or your ankle, opening up the front of the hip, pointing your knee away from your head. Your other option, if you're not able to hold on to your ankle, is find a kneeling position with good padding underneath your knee. Accepting that stretch, relaxing against that stretch. You're just going to the first point where you feel something and allowing yourself to breathe and relax the muscle tension around it. Good job. Releasing that leg so it lands straight. We'll be strengthening, doing another move to strengthen the side hip, keeping the crest of the hip down. Again, you can support your back against a wall or lean your torso on your hand to make sure there's no movement from your upper half. Breathe in to prepare. Breathe out, deep core. Lift the leg about as high as your hip or slightly higher. In to lower, out to lift. Keeping the space in here really still. You should be feeling it in the just below your hip here. Exhale to lift. Inhale to lower. Exhale to lift. In and out to lift. In, out to lift. Take a break as you need to. Maybe doing every second one until you get used to it. I'm going to do a challenge now. Holding the leg up, 5 circles. Lifting up and back to circle around. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Good. Relaxing that leg, feeling like it's worked, it's tired. Good job. Now we'll finish with going into a cat-cow. So turning onto your hands and knees. And if you don't like being on your hands and knees, you can easily do this in sitting. So hands are in line with your shoulders, knees are beneath your hips. Breathing in, letting your shoulder blades slide together, maybe looking forward to your mat, tipping your tailbone up to the ceiling so you have an arched back. That's our cow. Breathe out, press through the hands, round the back, tuck the chin, tuck the tailbone. That's our cat. Breathe in, coming down, arching, and breathing out, rounding. Try to initiate this movement through your shoulder blades. Breathe in, shoulder blades slide together. Keep your shoulders away from your ears. Nice long neck, gazing forward. Not looking straight up, but just gazing. Breathe out, press through the hands, round the back, tuck the tailbone. Breathe in and out. Continue a few more repetitions there. For those of you in sitting, same thing, in, lifting the chest, and out, rounding the back. In, lifting the chest, and out, rounding the back. One more time. Now we'll move into some circles. If you're in sitting, you can start to circle your trunk around your seat, drawing some circles as though your torso was the stirring stick in a pot of soup. And if you're in kneeling, you can circle around. If you had a pendant around your neck, you'd be drawing a circle on the mat in front of you. Breathing in on half your circle, breathing out on the other half of the circle. Allow your hips to swing from side to side, or your shoulders to swing from side to side if you're sitting. Allow yourself to work into the edges, those areas that don't always get a stretch. One more circle, one more breath, and then switch directions. Circling in the opposite direction, breathe in on half your circle, breathe out on the other half of the circle. Breathing in, coming forward, and breathing out, circling back. Good job. One more time. And if you're comfortable to sit back to a child's pose, you can do that now. Knees can be close or wider together. See if you can get your head or your chest supported on the mat. And if not, bringing yourself a prop, maybe a roll, a block to rest your chest, maybe supporting your head in your hands. And if that's not comfortable for your knees, you can always find a chair. Taking a few breaths into the back of your body, into your low back, maybe into your arms. If you like, you can bring your arms a little bit to the side. If you reach your arms to the left, shifting your hips right, you'll feel a nice long stretch along that right arm, the right side body. A couple of breaths there. You can walk your hands over to the other side if you like. If your arms are not feeling well, you don't need to do this option. Breathing in, lengthening, and breathing out, softening. Good job. So take a moment now to just allow everything to relax, to solidify your practice. You can lie with arms and legs extended on your mat, or this is my favorite, with your legs up on the back of a chair, this Z lying position. Allowing your body just to process everything that's happened, assimilate all of those effects that you've just done. Muscles have lengthened, worked, joints have moved and become lubricated. Breathing into the front of your body and breathing out to the back of your body, allowing your points of contact to rest and feel supported. Breathing into your front of your body, light and lifted. Breathe out to the back of your body, rest, feeling relaxed and supported. Take a few more breaths here. Say a silent thank you to yourself and your body for doing something good for you, for doing this today. Take note of how you feel after your practice and make any adjustments necessary, perhaps modifying or taking more breaks throughout. I hope you enjoyed that. Thank you for joining me.